Peace, peace, peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. I'm going to be offering my brief commentary right after this quick clip. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. So, Alabama, the state has passed legislation called the Human Life Protection Act. That is going to ban or punish women who decide to have an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. So that obviously shows that that state is pro-life. And you have some celebrities like Offset who feels like it's slavery, who feels like women ultimately should have the choice, and he's factoring in women who are raped. And I agree with him. Women who are raped, they should always have the choice to abort that life because of the nature or the manner in which that pregnancy was generated. So who could disagree with that? I'm still against abortion in any other circumstance, just about other than that, than a woman being raped. I feel as though if you're struggling, you should still have that life, conceive that life, because our Creator has a greater purpose for that life. I'm going to play a clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about abortion. There are over 600,000 abortions per year in the United States. There are over 600 Planned Parenthood centers in the United States. And it's really about, as Margaret Sanger, I think that's her name, Sanger, who was a eugenicist. And a eugenicist is a person that deals with the breeding of the population or population control, right? So, and she back in 1933 put out a letter talking about how we don't want black people to know that we're trying to basically stifle their population growth. And how are they doing that? They're doing it with different facets like birth control, which is what the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said is really just another component, another vehicle for them to try to aid or help in the sterilization of our women, right? Trying to help limit that engine of production of the birth rate of our nation. So we are against that. We are against abortion, and I'm going to play a clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan going further. This your brother Monroe Jr. I'm signing out.
With an old hanger, coat hanger, something that they would inject, and some women died trying to abort life, not knowing what was in the womb. Is that right? You reject life. You don't want life. You don't know life. You don't understand life. So when life is in you, instead of cradling life, adoring life, wanting life, nurturing life, thanking God for life, you want to kill life and wonder why life is killing you. You don't know how to live. You're dying every day, don't know how to live because you're not akin to life. Bad relationship with life. You got a bad relationship to the God, a bad relationship to the earth, a bad relationship to the sun, a bad relationship to the water, to the plants. You're not related well to nature because you follow one who is unrelated. Oh, Allah, help me to get through this. Listen, my mother didn't want me. But after she tried to abort me several times, and it failed, she said, I'll go on and have him. She didn't know what I was, but she was hoping I was a girl. Some women, for whatever their reasons, they're not trying to have life and have it healthy. They want this or that which is natural because you're trying to please somebody else outside the womb. Some of you, your mothers wanted a boy. And when she saw you come forth as a girl, she rejected you. You think the baby don't feel that? You think the baby don't feel that? Put the baby on your breast and you don't want it there, it feels it. It may not be able to discern what it feels, but it knows rejection. And later on in life, you're going to come to face that baby coming up, rejecting life. You're not bonded to your children, and your children are not bonded to you. You have a sick bond with your children, and your children got a sick bond to you. They are more bonded to the world because you took them from your breast and you gave them to the world. And now you wonder why the world got a stronger hold on your babies than the mother, the father, or anybody else. You're too busy for the children. You're partying too much. You finger popping too heavy. You're in the disco too much. In the bar too much. Chasing what? Chasing what you want out of life. You want pleasure, but you got pain, and you want relief from the pain. So the baby is pain. To remember you got a baby from a nigga that didn't love you. But you out in the world partying to get another one from somebody else that don't love you. Sick relationships. And since the woman is not connected to the man, she disconnects the child from the father. Almost immediately, you got babies, some of you ain't never seen them. Some of you brothers in here got babies. You don't give a damn whether them babies have a bowl of soup. I don't know how you could do this, brother, except you've been dehumanized to the point where you are lower than an animal. Because now you produce life. Life is here. It looked like you is from you, and you know damn well it's yours. But you would think more of giving your money to the crack dealer, giving your money to the cocaine dealer, giving your money to the whore on the street corner, rather than sending $1 to feed your babies. So the mother who don't get no support, she disconnects, pulls the plug on the father. So the children ain't got no relationship to you. And they got a halfway relationship with their mother. Now my mother, she was a faithful woman. I didn't understand her. My mother knew that the man was not proper. She was a strong woman. And ain't a man she ever met in life that could handle her, could think like her. She was sharp. She was aggressive. She was not lazy. She could outthink 99 and 9/10% of the men around. And she's that way today. On her deathbed, she's thinking. That's right. Yeah. She was a wonderful mother, but I didn't understand her. I learned that her own mother, when her mother saw that she had a vagina instead of a penis, her mother didn't want her. She knew rejection. And when you're rejected, you seek love where you think you can find it. Because all your life you want somebody to love you, black woman. And that's your trap. That's your pain. That's your misery. You want love, but you don't want to find it where it really is. It is in God, not in him. It is in God, not in him. And that's why women are in the church and they fill the church up. And they jump and shout and run. You think your wife done went crazy. No. She said, only Jesus cares. Only Jesus knows my trouble. I can't connect to nothing around me. Let me find it in Jesus. Oh, it's something, sister. You're trying to get there, but your relationship, even with Jesus, is a sick relationship. You can't help it because you're sick. I'm sick. We sick. The world is sick. Now let me go back to my mom. There was no man in my house to take care of us. And I ain't never seen no man in no bed with my mother. Never. Never. I didn't have to go looking for my mother. My mother would have to come looking for me. And if she looked too long when she found me, I understood not to have her come looking anymore. I have a strong black mother. But I didn't understand. You see, my mother had to work, so she couldn't nurture me, cuddle me. She couldn't give me that love that I know my soul needed. I didn't have the right relationship with my mother. So there was a need in me, unfulfilled. I never went to bed hungry. My mother sometimes only had 10, 15 cents. But I didn't know she didn't have $1,000 because she knew how to take nothing and make something out of it. When it was cold outside, she made sure there was oil in the house, in the heater, and early in the morning, I never got up and saw my mother in the bed. Whenever I got up, she was already up. She had my underwear already cleaned and ironed, and she would put them over the stove so that it would be warm, so in the coldness of the house, I wouldn't have to put on cold underwear. She was busy over the stove making me a full breakfast, no little jive. Here's a little nasty sandwich, but the woman knew whatever she knew of health, and she didn't know proper food, but she knew this, that her children had to have good, solid meals. Hell yes, love. But what child knows that kind of love when you've been separated from the breast and you haven't been cuddled enough to be secure psychologically? This is why these children are so psychologically damaged, because they never had a proper nurturing and relationship and a weaning with their mothers. You produce the chemical imbalance by not nursing. Not for 2 months and let it go. But the Quran says the weaning is for 2 years. Not as long as you can. Well, you can nurse them till they're 10 if you want. And some of these will stay on the breast until they're 10. And some of them want to stay on it now at 40. Excuse me. Any resemblance to any person's, you know what I mean, living or dead is certainly not a coincidence. Shall we move on now? And where was I? Oh, I know where I was. I'm moving away from there as quickly as possible. No. And so, beloved, in my home, I needed that. I needed that cuddling. I needed that warmth. So I grew up thinking that my mom didn't love me because I didn't relate the warm clothes, the clean bed, the 3 meals a day, and working to put me and my brother into music. I didn't relate that to love because I was too immature to understand the depth and the breadth of love, so I thought my mom didn't love me. And how many of you have come up in your house thinking that your own mother didn't love you, even when she did, and sometimes you begin to feel she didn't love you, and you had reason. I thought I had a reason. My brother's real dark. Here's my brother. Stand up, Brother Alvin. This is my brother. He's really my half-brother because his father is not my father. But my mother never allowed us to think of 2 different men. We were one in her. But since neither his father nor my father sent her a dime, she pulled the plug on both of them for us. Huh? Now my brother is dark and my mom is dark. I'm light, as you can see. But then I begin to think my mom liked him more because he was more her color. And he began to think she liked me more because I was light. So all the while growing up, he and I, as brothers, never related right. Our relationship was not good. Because when she would leave, I mean, he had a chance then to whoop the hell out of me. To work off some of that frustration, you know what I mean? And since I couldn't whip him, all I could do was go to God. And as a little boy, see, I had a relationship with God. And that's what has been my strength all my life. If I didn't think my mom loved me, I didn't think my brother loved me, I didn't have nobody else in the family, I had to find someone